Let me start with something that may sound uncomfortable to many people. Astrology and Vedanta do not stand on equal ground, not in importance, not in depth, and definitely not in purpose. And if that sentence already triggered you, whether you are an astrologer or a Vedanta student, then this video is exactly for you. Because today I'm not here to defend astrology, nor am I here to glorify Vedanta. I'm here to talk about intellectual honesty. In today's spiritual and astrological space, something strange is happening. Astrology is being treated as the final authority on life. Vedanta, on the other hand, is often reduced to philosophy which people find interesting, but it remains optional. Many astrologers speak confidently about karma, destiny, moksha, consciousness, yet they have never really studied Vedanta. At the same time, many Vedanta students dismiss astrology as superstition without understanding what astrology is actually trying to do. Both sides are partially right, and both sides are deeply incomplete. Let's understand the hard truth first. Vedanta does not need astrology. Vedanta speaks about reality itself, about Brahman, about consciousness, about the nature of the self. Vedanta is concerned with truth, not events, with freedom, not outcomes, with knowledge, not prediction. If astrology disappeared tomorrow, Vedanta would remain untouched. But the reverse is not true. Astrology absolutely needs Vedanta, and not as decoration, not as quotes, but as foundation. What astrology is actually doing, let's understand. Let's be clear about one thing. Astrology does not deal with truth with capital T. Astrology deals with experience, birth, career, relationships, suffering, timing, patterns. All these are experiences. Astrology maps how life unfolds within ignorance, within identification, within karma, within causality. And there is nothing wrong with that. But the moment astrology forgets where it operates, it becomes dangerous. Because then astrology starts pretending to answer questions it was never meant to answer. And what is the problem without Vedanta? Without Vedanta, astrology slowly turns into one of three things: fear management, ego reinforcement, or pessimism. You must have heard that your Saturn is bad, this dasha is dangerous, you cannot escape this karma. And quietly, something poisonous enters the seeker's mind, and he believes, I am trapped. Vedanta is what prevents astrology from becoming a psychological prison. Actually, Vedanta is a corrective lens. Vedanta reminds us of something radical. You are not the chart. You are not the planets. You are not the karma. You are not even the experience of karma in the ultimate sense. You are the awareness in which all of this appears. Astrology describes the field. Vedanta reveals the seer. This is the most important point to understand. Astrology describes the field and Vedanta reveals the seer. Without this distinction, astrology becomes heavy. With this distinction, astrology becomes useful and humane. Then the question comes that why Vedanta doesn't oppose astrology? This is where many people misunderstand. Vedanta does not reject astrology because it is false. Vedanta simply says, this is not the final level of truth. Just like Vedanta doesn't deny the body, but refuses to call the body the self. Astrology is valid within its level. but it must know its place. Now, without going into much of the jargon, let's understand the levels of reality. Vedanta works with a very important idea that reality is understood in levels. There is what you experience, what explains experience, and what transcends experience. Astrology works brilliantly at the first two levels. Vedanta addresses the third. Problems arise when astrology pretends to answer existential questions and Vedanta pretends that lived experience doesn't matter. This book and this video series exists to restore balance. And this balance matters today more than ever. We live in an age of information overload. People don't lack charts, they lack clarity. They don't lack predictions, they lack orientation. A chart without Vedanta increases anxiety. Vedanta without understanding life can feel abstract. When astrology is guided by Vedanta, fear reduces, responsibility increases, dependency drops, maturity grows. That is real spiritual progress. Let me say this gently but clearly. Astrologers need to stop pretending they are gurus. Vedanta students need to stop pretending life patterns don't matter. Astrology is a tool, not a liberation. And Vedanta is liberation, not a forecasting method. When each stays honest to its role, they don't fight, they support. In this video series, I am not here to prove astrology is superior or show Vedanta as intellectual gymnastics. I am here to show how consciousness relates to cosmos, how karma operates without enslaving, how prediction makes sense without fear, and how knowledge remains central, slowly, logically, without delusion. If this perspective feels unfamiliar, that's a good sign. It means old assumptions are being questioned. If this way of looking at astrology feels different, it is because it comes from a deeper inquiry. This entire framework is explored in my book, Vedic Astrology Through the Lens of Advaita Vedanta. The book is not about techniques or shortcuts. It is about understanding astrology as a movement of consciousness itself. If you wish to go beyond predictions and into meaning, the book will meet you there. This video is just the doorway.